Okay, so just recorded the episode going over my goals and stuff, but we have got level 70 smithing, which is pretty big for a few reasons. We have the requirement for King of the Dwarves, which is a very big quest in the Dwarf storyline. And also 70 smithing is required for the Void Stairs Back and also Doric's quest. These quests and tasks are very worthwhile doing because what they're going to give us is some double XP to train for smithing, which would be really nice. It gives us a reason to train smithing, but also will give us some double XP as well. We're just going to go really quickly to the Grand Exchange because I want to talk through what's going on with the Grand Exchange and what we're doing going forward. I have done a monumental amount of refined teak planks. We've only got 756 of the original 12,000 planks left. From that, we've got level 72 construction, which is really, really nice. We'll probably maybe scrape 74 when we actually do the refined teak planks and then turn them into frames afterwards. So that'll be really nice. And then we can go and upgrade the workshop. In terms of what I was talking about last night for the U-logs, we turned 1,000 U-logs into U-planks because they had a pretty big margin. So they've not sold just yet. We were getting some refined U-planks come through, but they've stopped. But again, I'll leave the offer in the Grand Exchange. We are getting some cheap U-planks as well, but I don't really want to turn them into refined planks because it really is rough. Also, our teak frames are selling. They've kind of halted a little bit, but they are still slowly going. And we've finished some Rune maces. So some Rune maces going onto the Grand Exchange. We've been able to sell them quite consistently for 24k, which is really, really nice. And apart from that, that is where we're currently sat at the minute. So yeah, we're just plodding on. We're just still doing the smithing while the videos are never ending. We are still recording. I did find out on Reddit though that the issue we raised up with the jails in the Thieving guild is actually a glitch. So we're looking at fixing that because it's a bug. So hopefully some point soon we can go and do some thieving training, even if it's to like level 40 or whatever. We can go and use that because the new mechanic is actually quite nice. Basically you get a bar on how close you are to finishing it, and you'll get XP during unlocking it as well. But I'll show you guys when we actually get there as well. But we do have 30 thieving, which means we can do the feud, which is very big. Some big quests starting to drop in now. Now we're getting some decent levels, which is really, really good. So at some point, we'll go and do another quest session. The daily challenges today aren't actually that bad. We've got divination, which is nice because I want to start focusing on divination. Rune span and rune crafting, which is very nice. And then also the daily hunter. It'd be nice to see how quick we catch those crimson swift tails now, because before you just get memed on, but the rate has been increased to where it's a bit better as well. So yeah, this is going to start this episode. We're going to do much more than just smithing. We're going to have a little bit of an adventure episode as well. We're going to make some cash. At some point, I am probably going to make a decision when we're a bit more liquid into cash, what we're going to do going forward. Because I think at some point we'll go and like make some big purchases. Whether it's going to upgrade combat armors, whether it's going to go spend some time training combat as well. And then eventually we'll go and spend some money on either a brooch or the Grace of the Elves. I am sort of swaying now more to the brooch, because the Grace of the Elves, I need the divination level to be able to make the porters. Good morning, everyone. So luckily, this is going to be on Saturday's video, because today is going to be another sort of day of AFK smithing, while I keep on recording ahead the next week's worth of content. And the good thing is that I'm recording this on Thursday, and I kind of get 3 days to sort of like do stuff and make stuff for videos for the sort of Saturday version of this episode. So I'm just going to give you guys an update. We're going to do the daily challenges. I'm going to try and be a bit quick because again, I don't want to sort of ramble for too long. But what I've pretty much done now is completed all of my refined planks. What we've done is turn 12,000 teak planks into 3,000 teak refined planks, which are now going to turn into 1,000 frames, which would hopefully bring us about 35 mil. In terms of profit, it's going to roughly be about 32 mil-ish. Again, the output for the actual teak planks is really, really cheap. So this is something I would sort of say to anyone after the new Foundations quest. If you only have a little bit of cash, go and buy teak planks, turn them all the way into frames. It'll be a little bit grindy, it'll be a little bit repetitive, but it will pretty much set you up for your account from there. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doing in my AFK time. For the full AFK, which we're going to do very soon, we're going to go back to making some Rune maces, which is still continuously selling for the mid price, which I'm so happy about because it just means we can do like profitable smithing all the way up to level 80 and sort of stack ourselves a decent amount of cash. So what we've got today in terms of our daily challenges, we've got cooking, dungeoneering, and then potions as well. Dungeoneering, I'm just going to use a token for. I will go and do the tutorial one day. I promise we'll go and do it, but today is not that day. So level 9 dungeoneering is what we've got instead. But that is something which is very big on the card going forward. Because as well, I want to unlock DG for a few reasons. Just because I think some of the rewards are very worthwhile getting at some point, especially in your whole account live. There's some DG rewards which are very, very good. We've also got cooking as well, which means cooking will catch up to fishing, which is really, really nice. That's what we wanted to do, to be fair, because I think at some point we'll go and do a stint of fishing as well to get that up to like the level 50. That would be some more quest unlocks and stuff like that. And then finally, to finish off our daily challenges, we've got Herblore, which we've bought a couple of supplies to do some prayer potions, which is really, really nice. We'll go and knock those out after this, and that'll pretty much be our daily challenges. And then we'll go to the Grand Exchange really quickly, just to give you guys an update of what's selling, what's not selling, because we have got some items at the minute I've probably kept hold of a little bit too long. So maybe we'll look at sort of hashing out prices, changing stuff from there. But apart from that, pretty nice in terms of the progress. In terms of thieving, I think I mentioned it yesterday. The issue I was having with the jail doors is actually a bug, so hopefully that's going to be fixed soon. But once that's fixed, we'll go and do like something like 40 thieving. Might even go and do the feud instead. I don't know just yet. And at some point this week, we'll go and do a little bit of a quest stint and get 100 quest points. But for today, especially, we're just going to be doing some more Rune maces. Again, we did the video yesterday going over our goals for the future, and 80 smithing is definitely going to be one of them. And this could be the one which actually makes the most money. It's weird really to say that like smithing could outperform crafting, but I just think it will. Crafting is so expensive now, whereas battle staffs used to make you quite consistent, like 6.5 mil per hour. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near in a minute because battle staffs are just so much more expensive than what we used to be. But there we go, daily challenge is done nice and quick. We're going to go and claim those rewards, and then we're going to go and get another token as well as a scroll of life. Yeah, life refresh, which doesn't really have much use to us, but we'll throw it in the bank anyway. But we've got a couple of levels from there. 25 cooking, which is nice. Don't think we've leveled Herblore, but that's not a problem. We'll definitely get towards Herblore a little bit later on. But 25 cooking is going to give us the levels for the recipe for disaster part of Free and Evil Dave, which is nice. And then also Prince and Pauper, the brand new 4th Infantry quest. Doesn't really offer us any benefit, but we'll do it at some point. And 9 Dungeoneering, it gives us some access to some more floors to go and run as well, which is also pretty good. So in terms of what's on the Grand Exchange, we have bought all of these U-planks, which I kind of didn't want to do, but you know, we move and we go from there. The planks I actually made and we're trying to sell aren't selling, so I'm just going to go and check what the price is for that. If the planks are still selling for like 4,000 coins, I'll probably get rid of them at that price because I don't really want to go and make frames from base again. 3.3 is still profit all around, but just not as good as profit as what we had, so that's a little bit sad. The Teak frames as well have stopped selling a little bit. And the Rune maces, I put these in last night and they're nearly all gone actually, so these are pretty consistent. I'm going to keep smithing those. I did buy 2,000 more Rune bars yesterday because I just think for the foreseeable, while I'm sort of like trying to get ahead of myself for the subathon and can't help booking places to go and travel, I may as well keep smithing and then at least I'm making progress on the side. I'd much rather do something where I'm making progress and not doing any progress at all and struggling for videos for you guys. But what I'm probably going to do today is just do a couple of hours just recording and getting some stuff sorted in terms of editing and that. And then I think we're going to go and play. We're going to go and have a little bit of a play around and see what we can do. Whether that's going to go and do some quests or we're going to do a little bit of combat training. I want to go and try Minotaurs out. They said they slightly amended the Minotaurs drop rate, so I want to go and give that a try and see what that's like. But that's going to wrap up where we currently are for this morning. Again, the sort of projects we're working on are going to be the Teak frames tonight probably, but for now I'm going to go back to 4th Infantry. I'm also going to go and AFK this. It might actually be worth going to do it at Artisan's Workshop actually, because you'll get buffs, but also you'll get some respect for the Artisan side as well. So maybe we'll go and do that for today anyway. We'll go to the Artisan's World, or just do it in World 92 to be fair, because the boosts aren't going to really be massive at this time of day. The Artisan's World is normally an American world, so it does benefit when there's more people. But that's going to be where we are today. Stats looking good. We got over 1,000 total last night, so we finally did it. So over 1,000 total level, which is really, really nice. And yeah, we'll report back a little bit later on. But apart from that, we are still chugging along as always. The cash stack, let's see what the cash evaluator is currently at. It's 156 mil, so we are making more. And the fact we're now at refined planks going into frames will make GP a lot quicker. To a point now where we're only sort of like 30 mil off being able to afford the Brooch and the Grace of the Elves as well. And I think it would be fun and nice to actually like go and make some GP again and see where we can do from absolutely nothing. But I don't know. So what I'm going to go do is just set up to go and do some maces for a bit, and we'll come back a little bit later on when we've done some spiffing and when we're ready to jump into the game. Right, so a pretty big day of recording. So we've done a couple of things on the account. Mainly for today, I have been smithing. So we have done 200-ish maces, which is very, very nice. We have got a level as well, and we've also just sold some more maces. So we've got level 71 smithing, 26k off level 72, which is really nice. Again, this is going to be my background skill as such. This will be what I'll be doing rather than be like not logged in. So rather than not logging in, I'm going to do some smithing instead. But the rune maces are pumping, so we are making a lot of profit with rune maces at the minute. I like to sell them every now and then just so I've got some selling on the Grand Exchange. I also messed up again and made some rune helms, but it is what it is. So we'll get those sold as well. Now, what I've done with my Grand Exchange is I've kind of refreshed my offers just to see where things are. So in terms of the offers, the rune maces will sell for that price. It's just as and when really, you just got to wait it out and they will sell. The Teak frames have crashed quite a little bit. They're now selling for 26.9k, which is a little bit rough. So what I'm going to do is simply just hold on and hold out for it. We still make profit from that. I think with the Teak refined planks which we bought, they're roughly about 6,000 coins each. So even at 26k, we'll still make like 8,000 coins per Teak frame. I just think it's a bit cheap. So I'm just going to hold on to them. We have like 1,000 Teak frame worth of supplies and frames in the bank. We've already made 216. We've got 2.3k of the refined planks as well. All I'll simply do with this is just, again, chip away with this whenever I've got a bit of time, and then I'll just leave them in the Grand Exchange sell for a high price. I'm not in a rush for the cash. We've got 40 mil to keep us busy doing other stuff. If frames are going to get to a point where they're not worth doing for a little while, it just means we can freshen up and do something a little bit different. So that's not too bad. And we refreshed on the U planks, the refined planks. They're sort of buying for quite a high price. So I've just basically just refreshed the offer and just bought them down. 17.2k is a little bit more than what I'd like to pay really. Because then that means that like a U frame's like 51k, which could work, might not work. Let's just check what the price is. So yeah, 62.5k, not sure about that. But they are also very much under mid as well, which is strange to see that the construction frames are just so cheap at the minute. Because like the construction updates coming soon, like they will have to go up in price, and I don't know, maybe like if that price we could pick some up at 60,000 coins. I think that's relatively good for a U frame, especially in this market. I don't think they're ever going to quite get to like the 44, 45k I managed to buy on the main account, but yeah, I think there's just a little bit of time just to go and do some other stuff and just to sit it out sort of thing. The silver sickles are 3.8k, so they're still under mid, so I'm just going to leave that offer in. And then the U plank has been moving up and down quite a bit, so let's just check that. I think if I absolutely have to, I can turn those into refined planks and then turn them into frames as well, and it will just be a little bit more in terms of like the cash share. They're going down quite aggressively actually, so maybe we'll end up turning those into refined planks at some point. But yeah, I mean, if anything, that just means that we'll have to sort of change up what we've been doing in terms of our sort of downtime, which is fine by me because again, I didn't want this to just be a series where we just make frames and stuff. Maybe we start looking at crafting next, see if there's any options to craft stuff for profit. I think there will be as well. Like, it'd be nice to kind of move out of construction for a little bit, I think, and then look at like crafting. But what I'll probably do, I'll probably wait for at least these Teak frames to sell, and then I'll rehash round the Grand Exchange just so we have some slots just to buy stuff for crafting. So I'll probably take the U planks out, the maces would sold, the helms would have sold. So really we'll just have silver sickles, bare fur, in a slot for something else, and we can have 5 slots then. To buy either dragon leather, we'll buy gems to make some necklaces and stuff like that. But that's pretty good actually. So yeah, nearly 72 smithing. Good news as well, we had a little bit of a update come to the game, which has actually fixed the thieving doors. The thieving doors, I couldn't work out what the issue was. It turns out it was a glitch and a bug. So that's been fixed now. So we can go in actively thieve and get some XP from that as well. So what they've done is they've kind of changed the mechanics of this as well to kind of fit in with what like happens in Heist. Really, all you have is just kind of like an action bar. Rather than it just be like instant, you just have an action bar and you get XP as your action bar goes up. But the good thing is that this doesn't mean you have to hop now. So the doors reset instantly, which means you don't have to continuously hop worlds when you've done all the doors, which is really, really nice because it was one of those methods which was insanely worthwhile doing, but you had to hop and you had to keep repeating the hopping just to make sure you had thief doors available. But now you can simply just work your way through them and go from there, which is really, really nice. Again, nothing too hazardous or too dangerous in terms of this method. You literally just go and thieve and then your bar goes up. Every time your bar goes up, it seems like you get 20 XP, which is nice. So what I'll probably do, the old meta was to do this till level 62. And at 62, you can start doing things like safe cracking, and you can also basically complete the Thief Guild. So that could be a little project to do going forward. Again, thieving unlocks a lot of quest lines, very similar to agility. They both unlock a lot of quests. So that is really nice. Along with the thieving being changed, we also looked at the agility, although I need to go and do the bar crawl, so that's on the list, and then divination as well. I had a little bit of a play with divination just for like a daily challenge, and you get the memories so much quicker now. I think the plus 5% like chance rate to get them was a really, really nice addition actually. Went under the radar a little bit. So divination is pretty nice. We're going to go and do a stint where we go and camp that, because when we do the dungeoneering tutorial, it'd be nice to be able to do divination and dungeoneering, because that will be very good XP. And also, it just gets us to the invention bit a little bit later on. But yeah, that's pretty much where it is. I do need to go and do my beehives at some point, but they have nerfed the beehives quite hard. Luckily, we're not too far away from doing chinchompers, which is a bonus. If we want to get chinchompers quickly, I can just go and do some trees, and trees will be really cheap as well, because no one really does them anymore. So most of the tree seeds nowadays are under like 1,000 coins each. So yeah. But as you can see, the doors are really easy. No real problem now. I don't need to hop. Eventually, we'll go and do these doors when I go and get a lockpick. But thieving will be something we'll just tick up over time and just keep moving. But yeah, that's pretty much the general update. Tonight, I'm going to go and have a little bit of a delve into crafting, I think, just to see what crafting methods could be worthwhile as doing, whether we do green dragon hide, or whether we do some form of gemstone crafting, or whether we look at just loads of different methods to go and get us to 80. Not going to be as much profit as what it used to be. 80 could have really like made you like 100 mil if you did it the right kind of ways, which would have been like battle staffs and stuff. In a minute, I'm just a bit dubious of how much crafting will make me money. If I lose money, I don't mind, because again, it's going to go to invention. Give me some decent skill levels as well. But if I can do anything for profit, I'll always try and do that as well. But yeah, we currently got 31 thieving, which is nice. And that's pyramid plunder. Pyramid plunder's had a massive buff as well from this whole thieving rework. Pyramid plunder seems to be a lot better, which I do need to do the sort of cat storyline to get into Sophium to be able to do smoke and kills. So eventually we'll go and do a little bit of plunder as well. That could be fun. And yeah, just clicking on, exploring. We've done our challenges for today. We've got some quests we're going to do a little bit later on. And yeah, just moving forward as always. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We are going to wrap the episode up here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and seen the progress we've made to be pretty good going forward. Obviously, we are trying to sort of get and level up before the Haven Hive update, because that's going to be the first major bit of content for this year for this account. But if you've got anything for me to do in the meantime, whether it's guides, money-making methods, or stuff in this account and lower level sort of gameplay, please make sure to drop it in the comment section below, and I'll always make sure to jump on it, include in the video, and shout you guys out in the video as well for giving me the idea to do it as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this and are still enjoying the series. Let me know anything I can do to improve it or make it better for your viewing pleasure. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.